All right. Yeah. Welcome in to a special episode of the Don't Tell Mama Sports Podcast. We're coming to you here on Friday.
Yeah.
TGIF. I'm your
Yeah.
host, Max. I'm your host, Matt Cobold, here with my guy, Max Faulkner. Max, what's going on, man?
Hey, it is a great day to be alive on a Friday. Okay. Fridays are always fun. I love our Friday
TGIF?
podcasts. Friday podcasts are always fun. I feel like there's no rules for some reason. It's like when you're a kid, Monday through Thursday, you're kind of like, oh, I'm gonna be try to be good. So because then when the weekend comes around, you fuck some shit up sometimes.
Oh,
You,
gotta
you got
save
you
it.
got to do what you got to do. Is what happens on the weekends. But pretty good, man. I do have one thing I have to say, and this might have to be a segment now. Might have to be a segment. It's our local homeless update here in Los Angeles.
Keeping
Okay,
people informed.
making sure everyone knows what is happening. All right, so I'm coming home from work. I'm on Highland. Okay, Highland is a very busy street in LA, very crowded. It goes up to Hollywood, up into Hollywood Boulevard, which, by the way, Hollywood Boulevard is a shithole. Okay. I've been calling out a lot of cities and saying how San Francisco's a shithole, Detroit's a shithole. So is Los Angeles, and especially in Hollywood. You think of all the glamour, right? You see the red
Sure.
carpet and the
Sure.
Grammys and all that. Oh, it's so beautiful. It's a shithole. There are literally feces on the ground. Uh, Businesses are barred up. They had to put bars over the windows now, okay, because of all the looting that is allowed, by the way. And There's garbage, and obviously, like, an area where a homeless person has been, because they are obviously hoarders. So it just expands of so much shit, just so much like just random stuff. It just expands, and it's a lot of places. But anyway, so I'm walking. So I'm at a stoplight. There is a Amazon truck in front of me.
The
Here
boys
comes
in
the.
blue.
It's relevant. It's relevant. You'll know in a second. Okay. So this homeless guy starts walking across the street. He's eating chips. Okay. Talking to himself. And I noticed that he's not wearing a belt and that his shirt's a little too high. Okay. So as he's walking, his pants are falling down. And he gets to across the street and his ass is hanging out. And I'm like, well, that's never pleasant to see. But also at the same time, it's not the first time that I've seen a homeless
No.
guy's ass. Okay.
No.
So whatever, I turn and just keep my head forward. But then I see him walking back. Okay. This guy's walking back, eating chips. Still, his pants keep falling off. Okay. So now I see this guy's dick. I see this homeless guy's dick hanging out.
No
All right.
underwear.
And it's very humorous to me now. It is very humorous to me now because, of course, it's in front of my car. But he gets in front of my car because the Amazon truck is located, right? And Cobrizi, you can verify that there's a step at the back of the Amazon truck to help you get into the truck when you have to go get stuff, right? Okay, I
Yes,
think
sir.
we all
Big
know.
van. Big van.
This guy stands up on it, revealing his dick even more, basically on stage. And then he jumps off, and then he walks across the street luckily enough, before the light was turned green. Normally you see homeless people just walking across the street on oncoming traffic, but luckily it
Zombies.
wasn't that. Yeah, zombies. But yeah, so I got to see a homeless guy's penis in my face today coming home from work.
That's hilarious. He jumped on the van and wanted to put on a little show
Showcased
for
it.
show for
Show.
the people. It said it's Friday. It's the weekend, like you said. Fuck shit up on the weekends.
You know what? I did say that. I did say that. So I sound like a hypocrite now for judging this behavior.
Hey, good story.
Yeah, sure. I feel like, and thank you everyone for coming out to the Don't Tell Mama Sports
Hey,
Podcast. Thank you for
ooh,
tuning in with us.
almost forgot.
Sorry that immediately you have to hear about my day and what I'm complaining about as far as getting penises just smacked in your face.
Oh,
Luckily my windows
he
were
smacked
closed.
you? He smacked you?
I mean, when you see a random guy's penis, don't matter where you're from,
Uh,
don't matter what side you're on. It doesn't matter how far you are. Is what I'm trying to say is that you still get smacked across the face. And then there's the people
okay.
that get physically smacked across the face, and for that, I apologize because that's a bummer. That's a bummer to get a bruise of a penis on your face.
Old fashioned mushroom stamp, huh?
You never want one of those, people. Sleep with one eye open.
All right, Max. You were telling me something about MSNBC
Oh,
going
jeez.
on. And what's going on here?
Okay, people. Have we paid attention to the news lately? It's okay. It's okay that if you don't watch the news, I get it. Okay, it's hard to watch. Okay, but sometimes there are stories that connect with me so much that I have to express it because it relates to us here in the sports world or in the athletic world or in the fitness and exercise world, which is what I'm going to jump into. According to MSNBC writer Cynthia Miller Idris, she believes that fitness and exercise is a form of white supremacy.
What?
Had to take a deep breath to contain myself real quick. Quote unquote, in this article from Cynthia Miller Idris, who I believe is evil. And I will get detailed on why I believe that people like this are evil. She says, physical fitness has always been central to the far right. Now, for those of you that are not aware of politics, she is referring to the Republican side of things. Now, I'm just going to say this right now. It does not matter if you're on the right, if you're on the left, or if you're in the middle. Exercise is for everyone. It's for everyone. It's for your health.
Obviously.
Exercise is the body's best medicine. I'm telling you right now. Okay. And you're going to look at me and say, oh, what the fuck do you know? I went to school for it, people. I have a degree in kinesiology, applied exercise and health to be specific. I know this shit.
Purdue University.
Let's go Boilers. Let's go Boilers. Don't forget it. Don't forget it. Moving on. Continuing with this quote, by the way. She says, they are lured with health tips and strategies for positive physical changes. Okay. So apparently this is bad that we're talking about that exercise helps to increase muscle and decrease fat so you can help prevent and hopefully get rid of diseases. That's why you work out, people. That's why you stay fit. It's not for a six-pack look. It's to make sure that you don't get diseases, prevent injuries as well while you're at it. Okay. Moving on, because I thought that was enough. But then she has to claim that exercise is racist by saying German dictators called Mein Kampf showed he was fixated on boxing and jiu-jitsu, believing they could help them create an army of millions whose aggressive spirit and impeccably trained bodies, combined with fanatical love of the fatherland, would do more for the German nation than any mediocre tactical weapons training. So being fit now makes you a Nazi, is what she's saying. So I have to ask you this, Cole Breezy. What about all the athletes all around the world? You know, because go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Because athletes are the fittest, most athletic trained people that we know. Cole Breezy, you and I, we work out. Okay, we try to get as many workouts in as we can, 1 hour probably per time, right? You know, athletes are working out all day. They work out, they wake up and go to practice. Then in the afternoon, they got another practice. And then they go to the weight room afterwards. They do this Monday through Sunday. While us, we're trying to get, once again, maybe 4 or 5. Maybe we get lucky and get 6 days in. But these guys are all week. So apparently that must mean, Miss Cynthia Miller Idris, that all athletes are racist because they are more trained than anyone else out there.
Yeah, good point.
What about the Olympics? What about the Olympics? These are the fittest people in the world competing against each other. Apparently the Olympics are racist. Oh, no. Oh, geez, Cynthia. Oh, geez, MSNBC. Did we not think about this? Oh, my goodness. Now, this is just so stupid. And this is why I think that it's evil. Okay. And because she is pushing that exercise is racist to keep people away from exercise, to stop people from actually giving a crap about exercise. Now, I have a deeper thought process. Call it whatever you want. Call it a conspiracy. This is what I'm thinking. 20% of people actually work out, have some form of fitness and physical activity in their life. 20% of people. That means 80% of people do not. Okay. She's not talking to the 20%. She's talking to the 80% that are now giving another excuse to say, I don't have to work out. And guess what happens when you don't work out? You get sick and you get diseases. And what do you need after you get diseases? Go Breezy. Does anyone have an answer?
Medicine.
Medicine from big pharma, from the pharmaceutical companies, which, if once again I brought up, if you have type 2 diabetes, they might be pushing you on something called Ozempic, just so you can lose weight instead of being active, doing something for free that is healthier for you than taking a weight loss drug that suppresses your appetite so you don't eat. How fucked up is that? So I believe that she is pushing that because guess what? Not only does Big Pharma make money, but the government makes money from Big Pharma. And last thing I'm going to say about this, people, is that if you go to your doctor and your doctor gives you, hey, you know what? For type 2 diabetes or whatever disease that you have, I'm going to prescribe you this medication. Instead of saying first, oh, you need to change your lifestyle and actually work out. Like maybe you should start working out a little bit more, get a trainer, hey, a trainer, or, if they're prescribing you medication before even asking you about a lifestyle change, get a new doctor because they don't care about you. You know why? Because they get a cut of that money. They get a piece of that. So our athletes are now racist, Cobreezy, because MSNBC is saying that exercise is racist. Screw this lady. Screw MSNBC. People, exercise is for everybody. Don't buy this shit.
Max, you said it. You said it perfectly right there. I don't want to add it too much on top of that. I don't know what the hell MSNBC is thinking, but as a PE teacher, I'm teaching exercise all the time to kids. So, and I'm not racist, so I don't know. I don't know what the hell she's talking about.
Delusional.
All right, Max, but we're a sports podcast here, the Don't Tell Mama Sports Podcast. So let's dive into some news here. We got a lot to talk about. We're going to finish up with baseball at the end. But to start, we got some breaking news out of Evanston, Illinois.
Hey,
Northwestern, the Big Ten private school Pussycats, have let go of Pat Fitzgerald, the head football coach, after alleged bullying and messy situation here. Messy situation. So let's get into it real quick. Pat Fitzgerald, he was a linebacker back in the 90s. He's a college football Hall of Famer. He's been the head coach at Northwestern since 2006. He's actually the school's winningest coach. He has 2 Big Ten West titles, and out of the 6 bowl wins that Northwestern has, he's got 5 of them.
Wow.
So it's safe to say this guy is beloved in Chicago and in Illinois.
Change that program.
Last year, they went 1-11, won their first game, and then dropped the next 11. So they sucked last year. They're 4-20 over the last 2 seasons. So not getting it done right now.
Yeah. But
we're talking about this because Pat Fitzgerald lost his job here. And this all started back on November 30th. Max, notice I didn't say June. I didn't say May. I didn't say March. Yeah. This is from November 30th.
Last year,
on November 30th, a former player who has since left the school wrote an email to the senior athletic director for compliance at Northwestern. This email was later obtained by ESPN.
Okay.
In the email, the player outlined the practice of running, which is when a group of upperclassmen restrain a younger player and engage in sexualized behavior. This can happen when a player makes an on-field mistake. Max, give me your first thoughts here.
Well, honestly, before hearing anything about what actually happened inside of the locker room, I liked Fitzgerald. Okay. And a big reason why is because I always remember when I was in high school, all the people in the Dune Conference, all the kids in the Dune Conference and the coaches, we all met up and he was a speaker at one of those. So while we were eating dinner, he came up and then he spoke, and I was like, oh man, like that was a good speech. He had, you know, he seemed like a good guy, is what I'm saying. But man, what sexual activity do we speak of in this locker room?
We can only imagine right now. Sexualized behavior is what it is said to be. Like I said, this player wrote this email on November 30th. The investigation didn't start until January. The investigation supported the whistleblower's claims, but didn't find that Fitzgerald or the other coaches knew about the hazing activities, although, quote, they had opportunities to report and discover the hazing conduct, end quote. Initially, Fitzgerald received a 2-week unpaid suspension. Okay, and we thought maybe this is over. Maybe this might just fly under the rug. But then last Saturday, the whistleblower told his story to the Daily Northwestern, the student newspaper. He believes the university is trying to cover this up by releasing the findings from the investigation on Friday night of July 4th weekend.
Wow.
And the 2-week suspension for Fitzgerald was during a summer recruiting dead period. So what else would you be doing? So that's a bullshit suspension.
Yeah, I see that.
Back in January 2021, Fitzgerald signed a 10-year extension. He still owed more than $40 million. The current players on Northwestern, they are very upset with the Northwestern president and athletic director for the dismissal of Fitzgerald. They don't believe Fitzgerald should be gone.
Wow.
There has yet to be any players who have entered the transfer portal, but some are reportedly considering it. Max, last thing I got here before I give it over to you. This is not the only thing going on at Northwestern right now.
Wow.
With the baseball program, the Wildcats, they're also in heat. They got alleged bullying and abusive behavior by a coach. Max, what the fuck is going on in Evanston, Illinois?
Man, that is shocking to hear. Right now, I think that as far as this investigation goes, you got to go talk to the athletic director and see because it's under his leadership.
And the president.
Yeah, and the president, correct. So yeah, you definitely got to be looking at these guys and saying what the hell is going on? But I'm curious as to hear more about it, as far as, because it's based off of one guy that came out and said like that he was sexually harassed, and Fitzgerald knew about it apparently.
Let me get back here. The investigation, excuse me. The investigation supported the whistleblower's claims, but didn't find that Fitzgerald or the other coaches knew about the hazing activities.
I see. So,
but you're in charge of what's going on in your locker room. You're in charge of what's going on in your program. Just like with Alabama basketball, Brandon Miller, how Nate Oates came out and said, oh, wrong place at the wrong time. That's bullshit.
Yeah.
This is the same situation. You didn't have control over of the situation.
Yeah. Yeah, I see. I guess the only other question that I would have for which, it's I'm sorry to hear that. And as far as this sexual assault happens, that's not good. It's terrible. And
it's 2023. What the hell's going on?
And the person that and the person that sexually harassed the kid, well, it was probably another teammate, obviously. I mean, come on, man. Come on. Like, that's what are you doing? Like, what are you doing? I guess the one question that I had for the kid would be, did you actually come to the coaches? Did you ask the coaches? Did you bring it up to them? Because that's what I did not hear in this investigation.
You did not hear that, correct. I'm curious about that also.
Yeah. So, it's just a little bit interesting to me that he comes out now, or November, instead of talking to him about it. I don't know if he thought that, which I get it. Like, he probably thought that he'd be hazed more, or a tattletale, in a way. Right. But,
a whistleblower.
Yeah. But yeah, no, it's definitely a tough situation there. And, man, it's man, that is an interesting one. It is his locker room though. You said it, Cabrizi. It is his locker room, so you got to make sure it's under control.
Yeah, I think there's going to be more to come out about this.
Yeah.
Northwestern looks bad by only giving him a 2-week suspension here in the summer.
Yeah, sure.
They look bad. But I think more is going to come out on this, and ridiculous behavior. Ridiculous.
Yeah. Yeah.
Moving along here, we got more breaking news.
Oh, snap.
We're going here to Morgantown, West Virginia to talk about Bob Huggins.
Bob Huggins is back?
Hall of Famer Bob Huggins believes that he is still the head coach at West Virginia University.
He's probably still drunk.
Max, this is getting a little awkward. Here.
Yeah.
If we can review real quick, about a month ago, maybe. I don't think I got the date on here, but he had a shredded tire in Pittsburgh. Okay, he didn't know how the tire was shredded. He was in the middle of the road, blocking the street. He actually thought he was in Columbus, Ohio. Trash bags of beer cans were found on the passenger side floor, in the trunk, cooler behind the middle console. He blew a .21. Safe to say, Bob Huggins was let go of his job, but here's where it gets sticky, Max. Here just recently, Huggins' lawyer sent a letter to West Virginia president stating that Bob never resigned and plans to return as head coach. Allegedly, West Virginia sent out a false resignation statement from Huggins. He didn't draft, review, or sign the statement. Quote from Huggins' lawyer to West Virginia: "If we don't resolve this, we'll be happy to sue and see you in court." End quote.
Whoa.
Now, Bob voluntarily checked himself into a rehab center and plans to stay there until he returns to his active coaching duties. Quote from Huggins: "I'm employed by West Virginia University." Reportedly, he has lost all support from boosters and West Virginia people. Max, what's going on here?
I think it's a pride thing. I would say that he just can't let go of, dude, you messed up. You messed up. It's not a good look, especially if you're going to be teaching basketball to kids. Yeah. You're not going to get parent support, which is majority of the fans. I would say is a bunch of parents. Dude, Bob Huggins, man, I'm glad that you put yourself into a rehab center and you're gonna work on yourself. That's good. You should do that, and that's great. It's good to hear. But gotta let it go. Gotta let it go, man.
You gotta let it go. Allegedly, they came to this agreement that he would resign. And then the next day he came in and he cleaned out his office and he said his goodbyes to the team and everybody. I don't know if this is a money thing. He's trying to get his salary. It could be money.
Yeah, could be.
But even if he wins this battle, even if he's like, oh, they gave a false resignation statement from me. Even if he wins this battle, West Virginia will just fire him immediately.
That's what I said. Just fire him then, right?
Bob Huggins is done at West Virginia. He's the 4th all-time leading coach amongst wins in college basketball history. We allegedly from Taylor Wilson here, Bob Huggins' daughter came out and said, "Hey, we recycle in this family," so that explains the beer cans in the car.
Yeah, and doesn't explain that. It doesn't explain the 2.8. On the breathalyzer test.
0.21, yep.
Oh, sorry. 0.21.
And it doesn't explain why he thought he was in Columbus, Ohio, but really he was in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. So let's finish up here, Max. Is West Virginia the worst team in the Big 12 next season?
Oh, man. I definitely am not betting on them on anything. They weren't that good of a team last year either. No. They're fine. They made the dance, but there's sometimes where teams just squeak into the dance because I swear it's just the coach or it's just the name of. West Virginia was 17-14 last year, right? Or it might have been 19, might have been 19 and 14. But still, it's not like there were teams that were 26-8, 28 and 6, and they didn't make it. Like just give those guys a shot. Damn it, they didn't deserve to be there in the first place. So go ahead.
I'm gonna say West Virginia's last in the Big 12. I'll put some money on it if that's an option.
I'm not
last.
There's no other team that I'm thinking about that would. No, it's West Virginia. Who's coaching? Who's going to coach? Carter? Javon Carter?
Javon Carter? He's still in the league.
I know he's still in the league, but he might accept the coaching position.
Yeah.
Good job.
Give him a call.
Give
him a call. Took a nice slurp there at the same time.
Yeah, how about that?
Let's move on here. Touch on the NBA real quick. We're hitting college football. We're hitting college basketball. We're hitting NBA. We're hitting NFL. We're hitting MLB. Holy smokes!
Wow, we got a lot
today.
Don't
tell Mama Sports Podcast.
Come on, juicy.
Zion Williamson, one of our guys, came out this week talking about his diet.
There's an update.
We all people here of the Don't Tell Mama Sports Podcast seem to like Zion, so we're going to talk about him for 2 or 3 minutes here.
I like it.
Maxey spent 4 seasons in the NBA. He has played 114 games. He only played 29 last year because of a hamstring. He's currently listed at 6'6", 284. Now you hear that and you're like, whoa, 6'6", 284. I got a quote here from Zion. It's hard, man. I'm 20, 22, have all the money in the world. Well, it feels like all the money in the world. It's hard. What I want people to know about me is I just want to hoop. Max,
okay.
Do you see Zion hooping?
I don't mind the quote. Doesn't seem too dumb, and it seemed like it's time to play ball. From right here, from that standpoint, saying that I just want to hoop. Okay, I believe him so far. I haven't heard the rest of the quote. So is there more?
In regards to his weight, he's gonna quote here from Zion. It's more of locking in on flexibility, band work. I think it's those things that will be able to keep me on the court longer rather than losing a bunch of weight and coming to play. So he's going to be doing some yoga, doing some resistance bands on his ankles and his wrists, and he's not worried about his weight.
Dude, you're 285 pounds. That's 6'6". Okay. To compare, we can say LeBron James at 6'8", 250, right? Right around there.
Probably.
So you weigh, so LeBron James is 2 inches taller than you and 35 pounds less, around there, 20, 30 pounds less. Dude, you need to lose some weight. You need to start running and you need to start jumping again because your athleticism in college was incredible. It seems like, like that freshman 15 that they always talk about, you gained some weight because
I got it.
Mama's not cooking for you anymore. You think that frozen foods, because it says chicken on it, is it's healthy for you. So you're learning. You got to learn these things that it's not good. Yeah, you're a good one, Cobra. So you're a good one. Those chicken poppers.
You remember.
Anytizers. That's it. The anytizers.
Yeah.
Don't eat that shit, people. Don't eat that shit. Okay.
Awful.
Yeah. But it seems to me that in college, I'm sure they had him training. It's Coach K, so they had him training. They had him working with the team every day. Probably had him on a decent diet for the most part. Now he gets the money. He goes to the NBA, and this is his college years now. The freshman 15, except now it's like, man, dude, you're losing muscle, and it's turning into fat. You need to cut that. You start running again. Weight lift to stay strong because you're huge. You could turn that fat into muscle easily, and dude, let's see you in a dunk contest. Come on, let's get back to your athleticism that you were in college because you were extremely talented, and we want to see it. Come on, let's go. You need cardio.
Yeah, we really want to see Zion on the court, and you said it best there, Max. He's got a lot of money. He's got millions. He's probably going out to eat a lot, trying everything Naldens has to offer.
Mm-hmm.
But this is a big reason why we want to bring in Zion Williamson for the NBA's biggest douchebag award. So not only is he not concentrating on his diet, not taking care of things off the court, we highlighted the last few weeks about his two baby mamas, both porn stars, strippers, whatever, and got them both pregnant allegedly. We haven't heard much from that. Max, anything else from Zion about his NBA douchebag candidacy?
Yeah. You already stated everything, Cobrizi. The reason why Zion Williamson is one of the biggest douchebags in the NBA that we'll all vote on, obviously, is, well, first of all, he's been in the league for 4 years. He's played 114 games. There are 82 games per season. It shows that he is not keeping up with his fitness. It is showing that he is not keeping up with his health. Okay. That's already being a douchebag in the NBA, because you immediately sign this big money deal. You get all this money, and instead of earning that money, you just decided, I'm just going to do my own thing. Whatever. I'm just going to be lazy. So you got something, Cobrizi? I see your eyes perking.
I think he's focused off the court. What's going on? I know he wants to hoop. He doesn't want to sit on the bench. He knows he can help the team. Obviously, he'll be the best damn player on the team if he's healthy. I know he's frustrated, but damn it, you got to take care of things off the court. Sounds like you got a lot of distractions going on.
Oh, man.
You're 22, 23. You got two baby mamas and two babies on the way. I don't know. You got to figure things off the court before you get dunking on the court.
The problem with Zion, especially off the court, you're absolutely right, Cobrizi. And the big thing that you're talking about here is Zion has a lust. He's got one of those 7 deadly sins. Just the devil's got him. The devil's got him right now. He's got him down there. Because he is having a lot of sex with porn stars. Okay, he has got a sex addiction. Come on, it's got to be true. It's got to be true. You're knocking up multiple women that are porn stars. You have a sex addiction. You need to work on that. You're absolutely right, Corbis. You need to work on that. Get your head out of these women's asses. I shouldn't have said that, but I did. And you should put it back onto the court and focus on your team, focus on your career, because you're 22 years old. And you have a long way ahead of you. Find yourself a nice girl. And maybe it is Akima, right? Maybe it is her. Okay. But at the end of the day, be a good dad, find a good woman, and stay focused on the court.
The big Z keeps dropping that hammer. All right, Max, moving along here in the Don't Tell Mama Sports Podcast, a TGIF episode this week. Finally, we got breaking news. Alvin Kamara, his ruling has finally come to light. Now, we thought this was going to happen last summer, and then it got pushed back to during the season. But now he finally had his hearing, and his hearing was for the beatdown in Vegas last February, early February. Him, cornerback Chris Lamons. I'm not sure if I'm saying that correct. I don't really care though. Those two and 2 other guys beat the shit out of a guy. Now, the alleged victim accuses Kamara and the 3 other men of beating him up and then stomping on him while he was unconscious. Now, if we all remember, we nominated Alvin Kamara for NFL's biggest douchebag because of this.
He was up there.
Now, Kamara and the 3 other men were facing misdemeanor charges of conspiracy to commit battery and a felony charge of battery with substantial bodily harm. Kamara has agreed to plead no contest to his misdemeanor. He is no longer facing felony charges after the plea deal. He's got to serve 30 hours of community service, and he's got to pay the victim $105,000 for his medical bills. Now, the victim originally wanted $10 million from Kamara. He was getting a little greedy.
Yeah, that's a lot of money.
A little greedy, but I'd ask for $10 million too if I got the shit beat out of me and then I was unconscious and you stomped on me. Allegedly, I wasn't there.
Trying to get you for all you got. You almost killed me.
Could have
killed me.
Now, so everybody's thinking here. So Kamara's clean with the law. Now we're all thinking, what about the NFL? We've been waiting. I was waiting last year for a suspension, possibly. NFL released a statement Tuesday morning. Quote, We have been closely monitoring all developments in the matter, which remains under review. End quote. Max, there's no way Alvin Kamara is coming out of here without a suspension of at least 4 games, maybe 6, maybe 8. What do you think?
Does New Orleans just drop him? Did they say we're not gonna deal with it?
Ooh,
We don't want this a part of our organization. Kind of like Sean Payton, Jonathan Vilma. You know, like I know that was a little bit, that was a little bit different as far, but was it? You know, telling defensive guys to go rip their heads off, and well, Alvin Kamara is going ahead and stomping on someone at a club,
yeah.
stomping the yard.
Reminds us that football players are animals.
Yeah,
But
geez.
I didn't think about a possible Alvin Kamara cut from the team. I didn't think about that. As you know very well, Max, I've had him, I believe, all 6 seasons. I believe he's played 6 seasons. I've had him in fantasy. I've kept him 5 straight years. But I'll announce right here on the Don't Tell Mama Sports podcast, if you want him, you can get him in the draft this year. I will not be keeping him because
Yeah.
I don't see how he gets away without a suspension here.
Mm-hmm. I agree. For anyone out there, any player that has a suspension or even an injury, if you're only doing a 2-keeper league like us, it's not worth it. Every week counts in fantasy football, people. You can't afford to be like, oh, I'll wait the first 4 weeks. No, you might be 0-4, just so you know.
Climbing uphill the rest of the season.
Not worth it. Not worth it. I love that we're talking fantasy football a little bit. It's coming. It's coming, people. We're excited.
Max,
about football.
I might surprise you by this one, but some rookies are actually reporting to training camp next week.
Woo-hoo.
So we will be talking football here soon.
Yes.
For those of you that forgot, this podcast started as a fantasy football podcast. So we will be diving deep into football here soon. Be ready.
Football is a biggest juicy sport, arguably in the world. Arguably.
So much juice. But our juicy sport right now in the middle of July is the MLB baseball. So let's talk some baseball here today, Max. Just getting over the All-Star week, starting games here again tonight on Friday. Max, real quickly, what'd you think about that home run derby and All-Star festivities?
You know, I always loved the home run derby. It was fun. I thought Randy Arozarena, I think I said that right. I thought that he had it because he had 35 home runs in the second round in the semifinals, 35. And then he lost to Vladimir Guerrero Jr. He's on my fantasy baseball team. You know, I'm really excited about it. Good for him. Not that it gives me any points, but I love that glory. You know, it's always nice.
Hell yeah.
It was a fun home run derby, and the All-Star game was really good too. Who would have thought that Elias Diaz from Colorado, speaking of which, the Rockies, the one Rocky that made it, having a hell of a season, by the way, hell of a season. Hit that game-winning home run in the 8th inning. I jumped out of my seat. I watched the whole game. I told you guys last week that I love the All-Star game because they actually compete, they actually try. Like, you know, NFL doesn't, you know, the Pro Bowl week, they don't play football.
They don't even play a game anymore.
The NBA, they play the last maybe 5 minutes.
190 to 185.
First to 200 or whatever their rule was a couple years ago. That was
it's not competitive. It's not competitive.
It's not. I mean, it's fun to see dunks and stuff. I get it. But baseball is different. They compete. And so it was a great game. I'm excited that baseball's back, Breezy. I'm glad that you know, it's Friday, and here we go. The games are about to have first pitch.
Yeah, I'm going to turn on the MLB network after this for sure.
Yeah.
But like we do with baseball, let's start in the standings here, Max. The best record in the American League, the Tampa Bay Rays at 58-35. They got a plus 149 run differential, but they're 3-7 in their last 10. Is this division up for grabs? The Orioles are 2 back, Blue Jays 7, Yankees 8, Red Sox 9.
I'm going to say yes. It is definitely up for grabs. I think it's potentially anyone's division. I could see the Yankees getting hot. I could see Toronto with that talented. Just the whole team is talented. They have a chance. They have a chance. Orioles is the one team that I keep leaving out. I'm sorry. I keep sleeping. We talked about their pitching staff's not that great. Their bullpen's good. And their hitters are fine. Their hitters are fine. But I think they'll slow down. But Tampa Bay Rays, got to keep giving it to them. They have a great team this year, and best division of baseball. People, pay attention to this one.
Best division in baseball, all of them with a positive run differential. Red Sox are in last, and they're 5 games over 500 for Pete's sake. But like you said,
Crazy.
we did that deep dive on Baltimore. We both said no playoffs for them. They're on a 5-game win streak, so maybe they're looking to add more pieces at the deadline. But boy, I could see 2 wild cards from here easily.
Yeah.
Moving in the AL Central, the worst division in baseball, still no doubt about it. Leading the division is the Guardians at 500 even. They got a half-game lead on the Twins, Max. It's between these 2 teams. I know you're on the Guardians. I'm on the Twins. What are you thinking right now?
I'm still thinking the Guardians, obviously.
Obviously.
They
Jose.
have a better team, man. They have a better team. They got better hitters. They got Jose Ramirez, who's an all-star. Josh Naylor got snubbed. This guy has 63 RBIs at the break. He's batting 302. They have some hitters on the team, man, and their pitching staff. Come on, Shane Bieber's really good. They got some other guys on the pitching staff, and then who can forget Terry Francona, World Series champion Terry Francona.
That's true.
As their head coach.
That's true. I like Minnesota's pitchers more, but they're the only team in the division with a positive run differential. I'm sticking with them.
All righty.
Moving to the AL West, we got the Rangers, 13 games over 500. They got a 2-game lead on the Astros, 6-game lead on the Mariners, 7-game lead on the Angels. All 4 teams have a positive run differential. All teams are solid.
Mm-hmm.
But, Max, I ain't getting off my Rangers here. Let's go.
No. The Rangers are looking outstanding, and I still think Houston. I keep saying that. I think Houston. It's going to be those 2. They might. Both of them might make a wild card. It's potential. It's potential
No.
at the end.
I got both these teams in the playoffs.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It'd be great to see too. Who wins that division? Oof. Yeah, man, I'm twisting towards Houston just because Yordan Alvarez is coming back, baby. He'll be back. He's the best player on the team. So
yeah, we'll see if he's back. We'll see. Moving in the National League, the best record in baseball, the Atlanta Braves at 60-29, a plus 147 run differential. Max, they're running away with this division. Yeah. They're running away with the National League. And I think you might be surprised to hear that the Miami Marlins have the 2nd best record in the National League.
I'm definitely surprised at that. Definitely surprised at the Miami Marlins. Braves are so damn good. We don't have to talk about them anymore because you know that they're rolling. We'll just say their record and move on. They're incredible. Ronald Acuna Jr. had 40 stolen bases at the break. Is this guy going to break 100 this year? Is he going to do a Ricky Henderson?
Possibly.
I know Torres Ruiz from the Athletics. Does he have 40 stolen bases?
43, I believe.
43.
Leading baseball.
Maybe he's the next Ricky Henderson. Okay, but Athletics suck. I don't know why we're going there. Braves are outstanding. I can't believe the Marlins. It's fun to see. I love to see new teams in the playoffs, so it keeps it fresh.
Braves are doing this without Max Fried and Kyle Wright.
Yeah.
2 studs from last year. Both are. I don't know about Max Fried, but I know Kyle Wright's about to get going here. He's about to be thrown off a mound, so be ready for him.
Fried has started throwing off of a mound. He is already in a AAA game. So people, if he's on your fantasy team like me, you are very excited because he might join the rotation next week. I heard as early as next week. Next week.
Don't get your hopes up for next week. That's too soon.
Too soon? He's already been out for months.
Don't get people's hopes up. You want to rush him back, and then he's got to go back out, and you don't have him again?
You're right.
Be patient. You're getting greedy on us.
I will wait for the training staff to approve and allow him to play.
A lot of greediness today.
Too greedy. Another deadly sin is greed. Okay? We don't want that. Don't be greedy.
In the NL Central, we got the Reds with a 1-game lead on the Brewers. The Reds are 50-41. They're 7-3 in their last 10. Max, I think this is going to come down to the Reds and Brewers in this division.
I think it's very possible. I still think the Brewers are the best in the division. I keep
still
on
do.
talking about St. Louis, but you know what? I don't know about St. Louis anymore. I just
I'll
don't know.
I'll jump in right now and I'll tell you I heard that Cardinals are selling. They're selling at the deadline, so
There you go.
they're giving up.
Giving up. Damn, it's crazy. It's crazy. So yeah, no Cardinals. Cubs, they're gonna fight. They're gonna fight in there, but I agree. I mean, maybe the Cubs could slide past Cincinnati. I think it's possible.
It's possible, but I think it comes down to the Brewers and the Reds in that one.
I got the Brewers.
Same. Lastly, the NL West, we see a tie at the top, the Dodgers and the D-backs. The Dodgers are 7-3 in their last 10. D-backs are 4-6. They kind of stumbled in the break. Dodgers on a 4-game win streak. Is this where they take over and kind of cement themselves as the division champs?
They're gonna win a division. They own that division. But if there's one thing that you can't say, there is a problem with that pitching staff of the Dodgers. Clayton Kershaw is still out. Dustin May is done. He's done. Tommy John, right? Tommy John surgery. I thought I heard that.
Similar to Tommy John. It's
Okay.
going to be a similar recovery timeline.
There you go. Once again, Walker Buehler's out this entire season. Who do they have? It's a bunch of guys from the minors that are coming
Let's
up now.
not sleep on my guy, Bobby Miller.
He slowed down, and you know it.
He slowed down, but he's a keeper.
Yeah, okay. All right, fair enough. Fair enough. It's the Dodgers division. They have Mookie Betts, Freddie Freeman. They're both top 5 players in the game. So top 10 players. We'll say because that's we can argue that. So I think they're the best team in the division. So
that top 10 discussion leads us right in to our player highlight of the week. Now we're looking at our Yahoo fantasy categories head-to-head league here, and the top 6 players have already been talked about. We got still in the top spot, Ronald Acuna Jr. Number 2, our favorite player here on the Don't Tell Mama Sports Podcast, Shohei Ohtani. Number 3, Freddie Freeman. Number 4, Luis Ariz, batting .383 right now. Now he went 2 for 9 last week. So that quest for 400 looking a little dicey.
Yeah,
but it's gonna be close.
Yeah, oh yeah, it's still possible. Come on, Luis. I would love to see it.
Come on, Luis. We'll be watching. Marlins, like we said, second best record in the National League.
Yeah, they're gonna need him. So keep it going.
Number 5, he made his debut in the home run derby this week. Mookie Betts. Number 6, Nathan Eovaldi. And number 7, here we go with our player highlight of the week. We got the 29-year-old first baseman for the Atlanta Braves, Matt Olson.
Oh, we talked about Matt Olson already. Yeah, we did. Matt Olson was at the beginning of the season.
Oh shit!
Let's go to number 8.
Well, I don't remember talking about Matt Olson, so let's just talk about him real quick, because that's what I got here. That's funny. Well, I don't remember talking about him.
Beginning of the season. It's been a while.
Wow.
Been a while, people.
Well, just in case anybody out there forgot, just like I did, Matt Olson is in his 8th season. His first 6 were with sucky-ass Oakland. He's a 2-time All-Star, 2-time Gold Glove winner. He leads the National League with 29 homers and 72 ribbies. Those are both second in baseball. And he's also got 55 walks, which is 6th in baseball. Max, this is the question I got for you. Behind Freddie Freeman, is he the next best first baseman in baseball?
Oh, that is a great question. I would say as of right now, yeah. Because I like Vladimir Guerrero Jr. I think Vladdy's very good, but Vladdy does not have those numbers. I'll tell you right now. It's slow start for Vladdy. Kind of, we'll see if he speeds up. But Matt Olson is, yeah, man. I'm gonna say yes, because not only that, 2-time Gold Glover. Come on.
2-time Gold Glover, 2-time All-Star. You might want to throw the polar bear in that category, but I think I'm still taking Matt Olson over him.
Me too. I like that. 2 Gold Gloves. It's nice. So, beast.
Anything else on Matt Olson for the second time around?
Definitely an update on the stats. With 29 bombs, 72 RBIs. That's a lot. That's a lot at the break.
Those both lead the National League and are second in all of baseball. So I'm glad we could talk about that.
Yeah. Yeah, no, what a beast. What a beast in Atlanta. Man, how do they have an all-star team like that? How do they have an all-star team like that? It's crazy.
They're really good, and they got to be the front runner for the World Series this year.
Yeah. I'm putting my money down on them so far.
I got to agree with you. Moving along here, we got the Scuba Steve team deep dive of the week. And Max, we were just talking about the standings and the AL East, how it's the best division in baseball, top to bottom. There's only 9 games separating top to bottom. Everybody's over 500. Everybody's got a run differential. I'm thinking 2, maybe 3 playoff teams from this division. So I wanted to look at the Toronto Blue Jays this week.
Yes.
They are currently 50-41, 7 games back of the Rays for the division. They got a plus 34 run differential, which is pretty good. They currently have the second wild card in the AL.
Nice.
Max, let's look at their batting stats here.
Yes.
They are top 13 in all but 3 categories. So batting average, on base percentage, slugging percentage, OPS, runs, hits, total bases, strikeouts, and stolen bases.
Wow.
What do you think about that?
They have an incredible offense with Bo Bichette, Vladimir Guerrero Jr. Hey, Whit Merrifield's back. He was an all-star, and he's having a great season. He had a couple, just down years, and he's back. He's hitting the ball again. This is a team. I'm trying to think. There was one other guy that's on my mind.
I'll give you the top 5. We got 5 batters ranked in the top 200 in our Yahoo Fantasy categories head-to-head league. Like you said, Bo Bichette, shortstop, he's ranked 31st. Your guy Vladdy is ranked 75th. Right behind him is George Springer in the outfield, 76th. And then we talked about this guy long time ago, third baseman Matt Chapman.
Oh yeah.
Now he slowed down. He's 122nd, but we talked about him. He had a hot start.
Yeah.
And then you mentioned Whit Merrifield. He's ranked 144th. So 5 guys ranked in the top 200. They're top 13, a couple in the top 10 in most batting categories. Pretty good offense here, Max.
Look out for the Blue Jays, man. They're young too. They're young. This team is only gotten stronger as the years went on, and I think they have something good here. So I love that. I would love to see them in the playoffs. Blue Jay is my favorite bird.
Oh,
I got something to say about that.
I didn't know that. Good
Why
fun
would
fact
you? Why
here.
would you? Why would you?
Max, let's see if they're getting it done on the mound though, because you gotta have both. You gotta have both.
Mm-hmm.
They are top 10 in ERA, saves, quality starts, earned runs, walks, strikeouts, on base percentage allowed, and WHIP.
Wow,
Max, that's a pretty good staff. And just looking at this staff here, we got Kevin Gausman, 33rd, Chris Bassett, 63rd.
Yep.
Jose Barrios, a guy that I drafted, and he had a slow start, and I said, screw this queef. Jose's a queef. I don't want him. Dropped him. Somebody else scooped him. He's ranked 70th. Okay, he would have been great for me.
Yep.
The closer, Jordan Romano, 99th. We saw I think, a little back tightness in the All-Star game, I believe.
Yeah, might just need a few days, but he's going to be all right.
And then lastly, we got Eric Swanson, a reliever, 119th. So they got 5 batters and 5 pitchers ranked in the top 200. Max, what's your thoughts on those top 10 categories? And they're actually top 5 in 4 of those.
Damn. Outstanding. This is the playoff team. This is the playoff team. We don't even have to ask whether or not that you actually think so. This isn't a debate right now. This is an all-star team, or the playoff team.
4 all-stars.
They have a lot of all-stars too. So keep your eyes on the Blue Jays, everybody, because they have it on both sides.
Max, I'm right there with you. No doubt about it. I think Toronto's going to the playoffs this year.
Hell yeah. Go Blue Jays.
At least a wild card. And like we said, the division's up for grabs. So
yeah.
Great division.
Yes.
Max, Can you take us into our next segment here on the Don't Tell Mama Sports Podcast, the MLB's biggest
Biggest
beefcake?
beefcake. Okay. So we've been talking a lot about the biggest beefcake week after week. I don't even know how many players we are up to because there's a lot. There's a lot. There's a lot of guys to talk about. So thank you for everyone for sticking with us as we continue this list of beefcakes. This week we are talking about Gary Sheffield.
Sheffield.
Yeah.
Interesting.
You remember Gary Sheffield, Cobra?
Atlanta Braves.
Atlanta Braves. Yeah. He went to the Yankees after that, but he had that batting stance where he cocked the bat. He cocked the bat. It was like
cocked it back and forth, huh?
Which was pretty impressive because that was a big lumber. Like he made it look like a toothpick. Made it look like a toothpick the way he was holding that thing. But back in 2002, Sheffield took steroids.
Oh, don't tell me that.
Yep. I know it hurts a lot of people. Sheffield came clean and he said he used the cream. Oh, baby.
Cream
What kind of
popular.
cream? What kind of cream are we talking about? If you remember in a previous episode, we talked about Barry Beefcake Bonds. And Barry Bonds also.
Triple B.
Yeah,
Barry
Beefcake
Bonds.
Yeah. He claimed that he also took a cream that he did not know was steroids. Okay. This is going to be interesting because Barry Bonds is related to this Gary Sheffield incident, as I will get more detailed. So not only did he take a cream, but he did take pills in form of steroids that he received from none other than Barry Bonds. Gary Sheffield said that he received steroids in the pill form and in cream from Barry Bonds. This is according to Bleacher Report. Pretty good reporting sports website. So what kind of steroid did he use? Obviously, it's usually the same thing. He used a testosterone-based steroid supplied by Balco, which was introduced in another segment about the Barry Bonds, how Barry Bonds worked with Balco, which is an organization that basically just makes steroids. So Balco was introduced by Barry Bonds to Gary Sheffield as well. Hanging out with the wrong people, Gary. Hanging out with the wrong people.
Just like your boy Zion.
Yeah. So, speaking of which, we always talk about that. There hasn't been one player yet that's just been like, yeah, I did it. I took him. I don't know. Oh, I didn't know. I was taking that. I don't know. Well, same thing here. Sheffield said that he was unaware of any performing enhancing drugs. He was using the cream, once again, the cream of his surgically scarred right leg to heal the wound. He put the cream on his surgically scarred right leg to let it heal. We've heard this before too, that players are taking steroids in order to basically speed their process up of healing. And hey, guys, you can't do that. Come on, it's cheating. So Sheffield said Bonds introduced him to his weight trainer. We brought this guy up quite a bit too, Greg Anderson. Who was the trainer of Barry Bonds, and he gave a lot of steroids to other people, and Gary Sheffield was another one. But not only did Barry Bonds introduce Greg Anderson, but he also introduced the owner of Balco, Victor Kennedy, to Gary Sheffield. Man, Gary, you're in the middle of this big. Obviously, he did know, but you're in the middle of this big beefcake group of Greg Anderson and Victor Kennedy. It's like, hey,
all beefing.
Where do you want it? Do you want it under the tongue? Do you want it in a cream, or do you want it in your ass? Because we could do any of that. So Gary, he had to try to defend himself based off of Barry Bonds. He's not a big fan of Barry Bonds, everybody. Obviously, why would you be after this whole incident? But Sheffield goes ahead and he says that Barry Bonds actually said, I got guys here. They can get your urine and blood and prescribe a vitamin specifically for your blood type and what your body needs. And then Gary Sheffield, in response to what Barry Bonds said, Gary said, and that's what I did. I accepted the advice and accepted what Barry Bonds was going to give me. That, of course, is from the San Francisco Gate. Let's just talk a little stats real quick about Gary Sheffield. He has a career 292 batting average, 2,689 hits, 509 home runs. He is part of the 500 club. 1,676 RBIs, 253 stolen bases, pretty good. And he played 22 years in the league. He's a 9-time All-Star, 1997 World Series winner, 5-time Silver Slugger, and he also has a batting title. Cobrazy, I understand that he was in a sticky situation. He might not have known. He might have just went under peer pressure. But do you believe that Gary Sheffield should be in the Hall of Fame?
Those are pretty solid numbers. Playing 22 seasons is impressive. But no, can't be in the Hall of Fame. You're poking partners with Triple B, Barry Beefcake Bonds. You're hanging out with the wrong crowd. Gary Anderson, another guy. Sorry, Sheffield. You're a juicer, you're a beefcake, and that's why.
Yep. I completely agree with you, Cobrazy. Gary Sheffield, you are a big old fat juicy bake in the oven with celery and onion. Put a little sauce on that, barbecue sauce on top, beefcake. And I wonder if you're hanging out with Barry Bonds right now, sitting in the San Francisco crowd, just wondering, hey man, you remember when we both poked each other in the ass? Yeah, man, I remember that. You remember when Greg Anderson poked me in the ass and I poked you in the ass at the same time? Yeah, we did an elephant. We did the elephant together. Yeah,
elephant walk, huh?
Yeah, wow. Then Victor Kennedy came in and then he pulled down his pants and we're like, whoa, hold on. This is only hold on. You gotta go, you gotta turn around. Don't pull down the front of your pants. You turn around, we'll poke you then. You know, I'm sure it must be a conversation.
That's a sticky situation indeed. Lastly, here on the Don't Tell Mama Sports Podcast, thanks for sticking with us. Great episode this week, fellas.
Yes.
But we've been ending here the last few weeks with a new special topic called Showtime with Shohei. We gotta give respect to Shohei Ohtani here and designate 2-3 minutes to him every week. Currently at the MLB All-Star break, the midway point of the season. He has scored 63 runs, which is 9th, 103 hits, which is 8th. He has 32 home runs, 32. Let me say that again, 32 home runs, which is first by 3. He's got Matt Olson by 3. He's got 71 ribbies, which is 3rd. He's batting a career high 302. Mm-hmm. He's got a career high on base percentage of 387. He has a career high, and he also leads the league in slugging percentage and OPS. Leads the league in career high slugging percentage and OPS. Also leads the league with 226 total bases. Now on the mound, he's got a 3.32 ERA with 132 strikeouts in 100.1 innings. Those 132 strikeouts are good for 4th in baseball, while he also leads the league with 6 hits per 9. Max, we talked about him last week being selected as both a DH and a pitcher for the All-Star game. Mm-hmm. We saw him Tuesday night. He didn't pitch. He batted twice with a walk and a strikeout. Mm-hmm. But Max, I just read off a couple career high numbers, a couple numbers that are leading baseball.
Yeah.
What's your opinion on that?
What an incredible halftime for Shohei Ohtani. A career year again, looking like MVP and potentially a Cy Young. We talked about this last week. This guy is the best player in baseball, obviously. But you know what else I just love about the guy is it looks like he's just having fun out there. Isn't it just so enjoyable when you see a player that's so good at the game that it's just fun for him now? It's not just business. He's out there and like with a smile, like he's like, I got another day out here on the pitch. You know, like, I can't wait to throw the ball. When I was watching the All-Star game, he slid into second base and like just the smile he had and the players around him that were, coming up and patting him on the back and stuff. It's like, I just love the fun environment that he brings to the game. So Shohei, keep it up, man. Keep it up. There's one question I do have for you, Cobrazy. the trade deadline is coming up. I know it might be a little soon to talk about this. We'll talk about this a little bit more detailed when the trade deadline does officially come here. But do you think Shohei is staying with the Angels?
I really hope so, Max.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, they are 5 games back of the third wild card. Okay, 5 games back of the playoffs. Now that's reachable.
Yeah, oh yeah.
And I don't know why you would trade your best player when the playoffs are reachable. I'd love for him to stay in Anaheim. Anaheim's a cool city, and I'd love for him to stay there. That I'm hearing obviously the Yankees are going to be involved, and all the big name teams.
Yeah, Dodgers. I keep hearing the Dodgers over here in LA.
And this is because he is a free agent this summer or this winter. So he's going to be available, and I hope the Angels give him all the money in the world.
I'm just hearing just from around here in LA, it just some rumors that the Angels are not going to have enough money to pay for what he's worth. Fair enough. I said we said it before that Angels, if you're smart, trade away everyone else other than Shohei, because this is the guy that not only is going to win you baseball games, but if you were thinking of a business side of things, he is going to build your organization by bringing in profit, because everyone wants to watch Shohei Ohtani.
Everybody wants to watch Shohei. You're putting butts in the seats when Shohei comes to town.
Yes. So Shohei, it doesn't take the place of what you're doing. You are so good that it's not that the Angels don't want you, man. It's not that the Angels don't want you. It's this, that there's going to be a point where you're going to realize that, oh, well, I can go to a different city and make more money. And I have a feeling that he's going to take it. Why wouldn't you?
Maybe he feels some type of loyalty to Anaheim and wants to
take less money. Take less money. Hey, I like the humble
boy Trout.
I like if he's humble. That'd be cool. But it's Shohei Ohtani, best player in baseball in the world.
Best player in the world, no doubt about it. And that'll do us this week, Max, for the Don't Tell Mama Sports Podcast. Appreciate everybody coming out, listening, watching. Let us know what y'all think. Give us some comments, bad or good. We got a couple people in there calling us racist and a bunch of shit like that. But whatever, let us know.
I don't care. Freedom of speech. Go for it. I love a good comment. It's, at least you're watching. At least you're watching enough to have an opinion about it. So we appreciate that view. And hopefully subscription. Please like, comment, and subscribe, everybody. We appreciate all of you for coming out tonight. And hey, if there's one thing I got to tell you after looking at a homeless guy's dick today, is I wouldn't tell your mama about. Hey, I wouldn't tell your mama about. Hey, Ma, you ever see a homeless man's dick before? You ever see a homeless guy's dick? Let's go to L.A. I mean, we live in L.A. We just look out the window and look at a dick, Ma. Don't tell her that stuff. Don't tell her about that.